What's up, everybody? I don't know if y'all can see that. Some good stuff, man. So, I know y'all see me use silicone a lot on all the little builds I've done. But anytime you got a cork gasket like this, I like to use this stuff right here. Jim's got a good story about this stuff and how strong it is. Maybe here in a second he'll come out the office, tell that story. But just put you a thin layer on here. A little bit goes a long way. This stuff's really thick, and it's cold in here, so I think if it warms up a little bit, it'll probably work a little smoother. And this is the oil pan for the XL. It's right here behind me. I'll set the camera up. Austin's not here this morning, so I got it on a tripod. He's doing schoolwork right now. But I think we got footage of me prepping the bottom there, just cleaning everything up, scraping the old gasket off. And if this was an old oil pan, you do the same thing to it. You want to clean this down to bare metal, and then spray a little brake clean on your rag, and wipe everything down real good. Get all the oil and stuff off of it. So you let that set up for a few minutes, and then when you go put your gasket on there, your gasket doesn't move around. It stays put, and stuff gets pretty tacky. So y'all, I think y'all saw me jack the motor up and get the pan out. Can't remember if we got footage on that the other day or not. But, let's see if I can't make a mess. So what I did was just took the oil filter off to give me a little bit of room. There's a little lip in here. Here in a second I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna let this oil drain for a second, and while it's draining, I'll take a little brake clean on a towel and wipe that surface down. So I prepped this the other day. Got it all down to bare metal. Got all the old gasket off of it. So I'll do the same thing I did on the oil pan here. While it's setting up, we'll go ahead and jack the motor up, and I'll show you what I was talking about. So I wouldn't use this stuff on like O-ring style gaskets and any kind of rubber, because once this stuff dries, it gets hard as a rock. I'd be worried to dry the O-ring out or the rubber out, cause it to not work right. So. Yeah, the reason I pulled that oil filter off is because we're changing the oil for one, and for two, give me a little bit more clearance right here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I'll show you in just a second. All right. See where the oil filter used to be? There's a little lip right here where I wanted to put the screw jack. That way I could slide that pan in up over that cross member, and then the screw jack not be in the way of the pan where it needs to set. So we'll let that set up. See, all I did was took the motor mount bolts, took them loose, and but yeah, all I did was just took the motor mount bolts loose. Now you can only go up so far before the transmission and the back of the motor starts hitting the firewall and the floor pan. So I don't remember it taking a whole lot for us to get it out. So I'm gonna try that right there. We'll try that and see where that gets us. But we'll go back over here to the oil pan. So as it starts to set up, it'll get tacky. A little bit sticky. That's that gasket. Stick better. Line all your holes up, and they stay lined up. You don't have to fight with them in the car when you're putting your bolts in. Just like it. And then we'll slide it on in there. I'll go get Jim to help me film it. Well, y'all can get a better angle because I'm struggling out here by myself. This tripod. But anyways. Alright y'all, we're back. I don't know if I'm in here or not. Yeah, I'm sure you can see me. But I let the glue set up a little bit. My gasket stuck to it. I'm gonna try to slide it on in place. Anytime you're jacking the motor up, you want to make sure you keep an eye on the rail there, where you got your lift arms, because you don't want to lift the car up off the lift. What I might have to do is unbolt this pickup tube, slide the pan up in there, and then bolt the pickup, or drop the pickup tube down in the pan, slide it in there, and then bolt it back in while I let the oil pan just drape down. You see the pickup tube's hitting right here. This is a little different than the factory one. I compared them when I got it the other day. But alright y'all, we're back. So I had to jack the other side of the motor up here. I ran into a little issue there. But yeah, Problem solved. She's in there. Get all these bolts in, and I'll teach you about torquing oil pan and valve cover bolts.
You can tell them about the baffle. Again with parts that are not right.
But yeah, what he's talking about is a little modification I did to the oil pan, and plus I jacked the other side of the motor up too. So, but there's a little piece in there that is kind of unnecessary.
It keeps the oil from.
Well, compared to the other baffle, the one in the factory pan, this baffle is completely unnecessary. But yeah, I just trimmed a little bit of it off with the 10 snips. You don't want to grind or anything around there. Get a bunch of metal shavings up in there and on your glue. So just use some 10 snips.
But it worked.
Yeah, it worked. Here in a second, I'll grab the old oil pan and show you what I'm talking about. So it's real easy to over torque these little bolts with these flimsy oil pans. And it's easy to warp the oil pan. But what I always do is run the bolt in by hand till it stops. And then after it stops, tighten it up about 1/4 of a turn. You'll see the gasket just starting to push out. That's when you need to stop. And that's it. I'll go back over all of them just like I did. Once you start tightening them all up, torque them all, that gasket will kind of settle, and you can go back around and snug them just a little bit more. But yeah, as soon as we get these torqued, I'll let the motor down, bolt it back up, motor mounts, tighten it up, put oil in it, and we'll be driving her out of here. So I'll update you once I get these all retorqued. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. Got old Jim back here in the paint booth. He's in the paint booth, getting ready to prime that old Jeep. Alright, y'all. I don't know if you can see my face, but there's your motor mount bolts that I took loose. Got them on tight. So we're waiting on an oil filter from O'Reilly's. And as soon as it's here, I'll pop it on, put some oil in there, and let her down and drive her out. That's it. Blinding the camera. Alright, y'all. Hope y'all can hear me. I'm talking behind the camera. So this is the original oil pan that came out of the Galaxie, the one I've been fighting with this morning. Literally fighting with. But that's the only baffle that came in that oil pan. So like y'all seen, if you rewind the video, it had a baffle that come all the way out to here and had a little notch for the pickup tube. So it was in the way, so I just made the notch a little bit bigger. So didn't really take the whole baffle out, but it's a lot different. I don't know why we can't get parts
You can't get parts that are the same.
We got that from Jig.
Yeah, and the listing for it says like I don't know, 58 to 72 Ford cars with a FE motor. That's what it is. So we get the pan, it's wrong. So we got to adapt it. People wonder why it takes a while to finish stuff, and had a comment on the video last night about, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe because you guys never finish anything. This is not Kendiggit or overhauling or whatever. It takes time to do these cars. There's two of us right now, just me and Matt, and we're bouncing around trying to do this. I'm trying to do all the office stuff. Matt's holding the fort down out here. Austin's a big help, but we still need people. So it does take time to do stuff. But then when something like that gets thrown in, that takes you off the list for an hour trying to adapt something and getting it in there. The quality of everything is literally in the toilet. It just, everything we get is bad. I don't know
if we're the only ones.
We're not the only ones.
I hope not.
We were probably one of the last. It held out for quite a while because we weren't using a lot of mainstream parts, but now, a lot of this stuff is just, it's substandard, and we got to make it work because when it leaves here, our name's on it. So it's got to be right. It's got to work. There are some times where we have to tell people, hey, I'm sorry, we're not, we're taking a little more time because we keep getting jammed up on everything. Exhaust manifolds for the 86 truck, they're different, slightly, but there's a modification that's going to have to be done to it, and it's probably going to take an hour or 2 hours. Things slow down for us like that, but somebody's here, probably with a wrong oil filter, we'll see.